Stop what you're doing and immediately make this. We're altering an envelope with a cut to size insert that'll instantly upgrade your card giving. And stay with me for a spring collage demo that'll make your card the one they open first. You'll stand out, impress, and give a gift that feels deeply personal and loved. No more boring, average cards. This is how you elevate your art and your confidence. Have you ever had a stop the presses moment? It all began when I wanted to put in a piece of colorful art in my envelope, and I just couldn't stop. I found pages from calendars, I found pages from a magazine, and I put them in my envelope. And I'd love to show you how to do that. And then I just had to embellish the front as well. So this works really great if the card is the gift. Let me show you how I made these altered envelopes. I found this paper in a magazine. It's a very old magazine, Arizona Highway, oh gosh, 2001. And inside here, I found really beautiful photography, pieces that would work really nicely in an envelope. In fact, I decided I was going to use this piece inside my envelope. So this envelope, if you're looking to find something similar, it is 5 3/4 and 4 1/2. It's meant to take an 8 1/2 by 11 card cut into fourths. So that's what I was using here. And so I want to show you exactly how I did this. I took my envelope and I started playing with what I wanted to show up in the flap. Now here one horse's head is very low, the other is high. I think I'm going to shoot for the horse here. If you hold it up to a window, you'll be able to see right through your paper and know that you are lined up great. Because I don't want any of the glue part. I want that horse's head right here, and my other one will probably be about here. So that'll show up really nicely. I'm going to mark this. This is to give me a guide on where to cut. And I'm going to make sure that I cut inside the lines because I want it to fit inside the envelope, not straight to the edge at all. So this is one way you can do it. I decided to show you a smidgen of what I was talking about. I want to cut it inside the line that I had just drawn. The fun thing about an envelope insert is it doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom of the page. Only the part where the flap opens up to is going to show. So we're kind of safe there. But I want it to be able to slide into the envelope nice and easy. So I'm going to give myself an allowance. And for here, I'm just going to cut with scissors. In fact, let me demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about. See how that slides in nicely? Well, it should be nicely. There we go. There we go. Now, if I cut inside that line, my recipient is going to see those horses easily. So I know I want to trim below the glue line of this envelope. So I'm going to give myself an allowance here also. Save this. We can use that for the outside of our envelope. Now this as a guide. There we go. I have my glue area right there. I think I'm going to trim this up just a bit more. There we go. I'm going to save these clouds and sky for later. Now I hope you have a piece of paper that makes a good glue area. When you're doing this insert, you do not have to glue the entire back. Just the top, and maybe down the middle a little bit. The part inside here on the envelope does not need to be glued. In fact, it actually is helpful because I want my paper to slide in without sticking. There we go, there we go. I'm gonna eyeball that that's right up there, pointing to the top. I like to call this my warm hand press using my glue stick. I really like this Elmer's Craft Bond. Works well for me. Now, when I fold this gently, this is the insert for my envelope. Isn't that cute? I am not going to seal this, maybe just the tip, so that they won't tear the envelope and they can have that nice surprise when they open it up. Now, what are we going to do about the cover? I've actually made several here, and so I have some scraps ready to go. In fact, let's save these. And let's see. Oh, let me show you. I have some scraps from the other cards I've made. I have a bit of gauzy fabric here, a ticket, a die cut, some ribbon, a couple stickers, a little paper flower, a piece of paper that I cut through my punch, and we can collage here on the front. One of the things I like doing was taking a big piece and covering up some of that envelope right up front. You know, if you tear it with your paper up, you get the white edge. If you tear it with your paper down or from the bottom, that rough torn paper look is not going to be seen. All right, I'm just going to glue that down. I am ready to go. Maybe a little bit on my envelope. Make sure your flap is where you want it to be. Yes, I have made a few art projects that ended up being upside down. Nothing more frustrating than that. So just double check what it is you're looking for. I'm going to get this down. Now, we had some extra of the horses. If I had had more, that would have made a great background for here. But instead, I'm going to take off where my pen line was and decide what kind of look do I want to go for. On the side here, kind of like this. Get my glue paper. Kind of helps to keep my desk clean. And see how I glue over the edges? To make sure my edges lay down really nicely. Let's see, this way? No. Well, boy. Here we go. I really like working with magazine papers. They're so thin. They go down really nicely with just a little bit of glue. Now, I've already glued some of this together. Nope, just these two have been glued together. I have a little bit of ribbon. Oh, I do think I want to use some of this lace. I'm giving this as a gift to several ladies who are going to see each other's envelopes. So I like that they are going to be scene together. This green gauze is awfully cute. I'm going to rough these edges up a bit by pulling at the fibers, the threads. Okay. I want it below. Maybe like that. Very pretty. I have this little hedgehog and ticket here. What do you think? Do I need another ticket under here maybe? Nope. I'm going to leave that off. Let's see what else I have. I have some purple flowers. Let's rework this. Do I want this in the bottom corner? Do I want this in the back? How about that? Here we go. Yep, I like that better already. And here, and maybe like that. Oh, okay, I think we're good. So the thing about having paper and fabric pieces is you really want to use a fabric glue. I find it so helpful with using these light fabrics. In fact, I think I'm going to put this ribbon on here first. Even though this was laying on its side, I still have to fill that nozzle with glue. All right, here it comes. I'm going to put that right there, attach it to my lace, and lift that up. With the fabric, I'm okay with edges moving, a little free-flowing. In fact, I like that a lot. Papers, I can see getting all my edges down. Ooh, I'm making a mess with this. All right, let's see what I got here. Yep. I'm lightly tapping because that glue can come right through that lace. And I'm also very much okay using my fabric glue on the paper because it's going straight on the fabric. These were going to be Easter envelopes. So let's see, right about here, we'll do that. And this paper flower here, yeah. What do you think? Now I have a paper and fabric collage, a little bit of 3D, and a surprise inside. Isn't that fun? I hope you enjoyed making your own. Let me know how it works out for you.